So as you know, the boost knuckle has been down for a few months now after the 6.2 blew up a piston, and we tore it down, and we've got a couple things in the works with the motor. We've got some cylinder heads that we're testing out for somebody, and these cylinder heads are pretty beefy. With that being said, I think we may be required to change up the turbo kit a little bit because of these cylinder heads. So that kind of throws a bunch more time, effort, money into being able to put the 6.2 back in the truck. The stock heads were cracked, so I can't just throw those back on and put the motor back in the truck. But I have another option. I had some spare parts, an old block, an old 4.8 rotating assembly and stuff laying around. So I'm throwing together a 4.8, and here it is. 4.8 flat tops, floater rods and pistons. I did put a 58X reluctor on it. If I can turn this over. I put a 58X reluctor to work in the boost knuckle because it's a Gen 4 58X Terminator X. I reused all the rod bearings. I did put new main bearings in it, mainly because I had already thrown them away whenever I took this block apart. So, but all the rod bearings looked really good, so I went ahead and just reused them, put them back in. Let me see if I can turn it over for you. Turns over really good. Everything checks out. One thing normally with these stock bottom ends, you want to gap the rings, but whenever I was checking them, these pistons and this block with the rings that were on them, actually already they were didn't have to cut them. They were already big. So tops and bottoms both were already 30 thousandths. I did have like one or two of the top rings on like one random hole or another that was a little small. It was like 28 thousandths, so I had to take a couple out. But out of 16 rings, I only had to cut 2 of them, so that's a win. I did ball hone the cylinders. Block's been pressure washed. I did put new cam bearings in it. China $45 head studs. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm cheap and I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money on this because I want to spend money on the 6.2. So $45 head studs. This is a $100 China max peating rods, sloppy stage 2 replica cam. So we're gonna put that in, give it a shot. The finish on it wasn't super good, so I did take it to work. Let's see if I can pull it out of here without marring up anything. But I did take it to work and put it on the polisher and clean it up, made it look a lot better. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're gonna throw a 4.8 in the boost knuckle and put the 88 on it and see what happens. I'm gonna get these lifters put in, and then we'll get the lifter trays all bolted down, and then we can get ready to put cylinder heads on this thing. Really, I mean, I've pretty much got everything, to get this thing put back together as far as the 4.8 goes. So, yeah, I mean, we should be close to being able to take this motor and put it in the truck, which, it's not going to be better than what was in it, because the old 6.2, that thing was a beast. That thing made over 1,000 horsepower without even flinching. Opted for new lifter trays because the lifter trays, they wear out and then you'll start to hear like a lifter noise. Sometimes it's just the trays are wore out, the lifter doesn't snap into the lifter tray, and that's one thing. Whenever you're doing a cam swap, if you're trying to reuse the lifter tray, if you go to put the lifter in and it doesn't snap in, I was going to try and pull it out, but I'm going to end up knocking it on the floor. If it doesn't snap into that lifter tray, more than likely you need to replace it. But anyways, I'm going to get all these put in, get the lifter tray bolts torqued down, and then we'll keep moving on. Alright, so as I was recording, apparently my battery died on the GoPro, and I was just talking away, building away, and then I look up and it's dead. So I don't know where it stopped. I'll know whenever I go to edit this video, but I'll walk you back through. We've got the heads and stuff on it, everything's torqued down. I use paint marker after I torque everything just so I know that I torqued it. But yeah, oil pump's on. That's the old oil pump off the 6.2. That's a Melling like 365 pump. It's not like a high pressure. It's just like an upgraded version of like the stock pump basically. And this thing's pretty close to rocking and rolling. Put a rear cover. I got a new rear main seal for it. But yeah, this thing's coming together. It's gonna be in the truck before you know it. I don't know how it's gonna work. That $100 cam and $45 head studs and freebie cylinder heads, and then robbing old parts from the old motor. I think we're gonna be somewhere in the ballpark of like $500 in this thing, maybe less, but we'll give it a whirl. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this motor. I'm not gonna show you much else because it's just putting covers and stuff on it, but it's together. Now we can blow this thing up. All right, so I've been out here chipping away at the truck. Got the motor in it. Started putting some of the accessories on. Got the turbo manifold bolted on this side, which is a huge pain in the butt because the way this is shaped, it's really tight. It doesn't like to fit in there. I don't know how I got that thing out the first time. I don't know if I pulled the motor up out of the way and then pulled that out, or if I pulled it out, I have no idea. Intake's bolted on. I got the ICT billet adapters to go from cathedral port cylinder heads to rectangle port intake. Most of the time people use those for when they're putting LSA blowers on cathedral port heads. Work the same for the intake manifold. But yeah, got the harness running through the firewall there, because before it was coming out down here and then kind of underneath the exhaust and next to the turbo manifold. I didn't like it, so now it's up and out of the way, a little bit nicer, cleaner. I just think it looks a little better. I will put the heat shield stuff on that firewall there. It's coming together slowly but surely. Hopefully I'll plan on having this thing fired up this week. I still got to put the starter on it, and I still got to do the converter spacing. Once that's done, then I can button up everything underneath, put the crossover pipe on it, tighten up the exhaust manifolds, and then it's just fuel lines, wiring, and a radiator. All right, guys, so we're out here working on the boost knuckle, trying to get it ready for first startup with this new 4.8. It's actually starting to thunderstorm like crazy out here, but oh, hold on, pimp down. I had to go give Boots a drink.
It sounds like it's hailing.
Can I hear that?
So we're gonna try and start this thing up.
And it's fucking funny though.
Oh, I was gonna grab some oil to put down in the turbo. That's the whole reason I went in there. Stand by. Huh? What? Boy, you better watch it. You want a knuckle sandwich? Yeah.
Are you gonna put a time on this thing?
No. Nobody got time for that. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna start.
I was gonna say. It's dropping as you're cranking. It's falling as it's idling. Really? Yeah. It's weird because on the dash it showed 65 and I was just sitting there.
No idea.
years. It was all the way down to like 18 when it died.
Got the boost knuckle all put back together. We had some issues there getting it to start and run, some of which I think was related to the fact that it was out of gas. We did throw a few gallons of Ignite race fuel in it, but the Ignite race fuel that we put in it was old. It's sitting in my buddy's garage, and the container had been opened like a year and a half ago or something, so who knows how good that fuel was. But we put the fuel in it, it still kind of ran like crap. I just ran to the gas station and grabbed some pump 93. I don't know if I've emphasized on this very much, but I don't know how much I trust this engine. This motor I threw together, like I said, had some $45 Chinese head studs, a bunch of miscellaneous rotating assembly parts. I bought a $100 sloppy stage 2 replica cam off eBay, little brown box special. I'm not sure that cam's actually what it says it is. I measured it. None of the cam lobes measured what they were supposed to. But, I mean, at this point it is what it is. It's in the truck, it's running. Try and get it out here pretty soon and do some testing with it. I really wanted this motor in the truck mainly because the 6.2 is going to take a little longer than I had anticipated. I was hoping it would have already been back in the truck and we'd have been back on the road and going. But that didn't happen. And I had all this stuff laying around for the most part, other than the $145 I spent on head studs and the camshaft. And then, you know, we tested it out. I want to put it in there because the Jegs transmission that is in this truck is the same one we had in my brother's car. And when his broke and he sent it back in, they no longer sell their 1200 horsepower turbo 400. A little leery of it, and they give you a year warranty on it, so I need to take this thing out and make sure it's not going to blow up on me. So you know, we're not out to $2,700 or whatever this transmission cost. That way, if it does break, I need it to break before winter comes so I can pull it out and send it back. And worst case, they can send me a power glide, and I'll just throw a power glide in this thing. You know, I do street drive the truck. I haven't in the last couple of years. Mainly just because I have so many other cars, and it gets hot, and usually when I want to drive it, it's hot outside, and I don't want to drive it when it's hot because it doesn't have air conditioning and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the boost knuckle. Like I said, check back here shortly. Don't forget, check out the merch store. Got one of my little fresh MRE shirts here. Go check out the merch store, mremotorsports.com. Keep following along. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure you get all the notifications whenever I post a video and stuff. And then hopefully here pretty soon, next couple videos, you'll see we'll take this little 4.8 out and see if we can scatter the guts on this thing. But see you guys on the next one.